In this video, I'll share steps I've taken to get out of debt. This is something I've personally experienced and now I'm debt-free. I'd like to share these steps with you and hopefully get you on that path as well. Hi, my name is Nisha and welcome to my finance and lifestyle channel. Please like and subscribe and share this video with anyone else who may need it. Let's get started. Sorry everyone, I had to change locations. There were a lot of distractions at home, so I've come to sit in the car where it's quieter. Okay, so let's start. Step 1. So make a list of all your debtors, balances and minimum amounts you pay each month. List all your income and expenses, separating your essential expenses and your non-essential expenses. Then go through the list of all your non-essential expenses and get rid of what you don't need. For example, if you have gym membership and you don't use it, you might not need it anymore, so it'd be good to get rid of it. I know during COVID that probably hasn't been a problem, but you might have other subscriptions like to certain apps. I know apps take up a lot of expenses. They have for me in the past, but I've just got rid of loads of them. And with apps like Netflix and things like that, you might have family and friends that have it, and ask them if they're willing to share the login details with you, because you can have up to a few users on the Netflix accounts, can't you? So you might have that option there. But get rid of what you can. So with the remaining balance, split it between your debt. There are different strategies you consider to do this, and I'll go through a couple here. So I got out of debt maybe for about 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't know that these were strategies when I started paying my debt back, but the way I did it was I paid off the smallest debt first, and once that was cleared, I went on to the next one. I found this more motivational. So the 2 strategies you can consider are the snowball strategy. As I mentioned, that's the one I used, where you pay off the smallest amount first, but you also have to make the minimum payments on the rest of your balances as well. So I'm just going to read a quote that I found online for this. You list all your debts from smallest to largest. You then devote extra money each month paying off the smallest debt first, and you only make the minimum monthly payments on the others. When your balance is settled, you move on to the next. So the main advantages of using that technique is that it's motivating. So once you've paid off, to start off with, you might feel overwhelmed, thinking there's a lot of debt to pay off, but once you've paid off one, that will feel good and it will motivate you to clear off the next one, and it'll feel good doing it that way around. It's easy to implement. The cons are it does incur more interest, so it is not the cheapest method of doing it, and it may take you longer, but I personally did it this way. The next one is called the avalanche method. So I'll read the quote that I found online for this. So this method involves making minimum payments on all your debts and then using any extra money to pay the bill, the debt with the highest interest. So this will probably save you the most. So the advantage of this technique is it minimises the amount of interest you pay. It lessens the amount you get out of debt. The disadvantages are it takes discipline and commitment to pull it off and requires income. So I know I've listed pros and cons for each of those. Obviously every technique has a con, so don't let that put you off. It doesn't really matter. Just go for whatever you feel is best for you. That's all you need to focus on. Like I said, I'm not an expert, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. This video is my experience of paying my debt off. Step 2, call a debt charity. This is the best thing I ever did. I can't remember who told me about this. I think it was a friend. She knew how much debt I was in at the time. She recommended me contact a debt charity. It's the best thing I ever did. Debt charity is in the UK. They're called Step Change. So I contacted them, explained my situation, and what they did was they sent out a form to me, and the form was for me to list all my income and expenses, things like that. I sent it back to them so they knew how much money I had left over at the end of the month to pay off my debt. They then reached out to my debtors, explained that I was in financial hardship, and they agreed a minimum payment for me. This figure that I had left over, they split it equally between all the debtors. I made one lump sum payment to Step Change each month, and they handled the rest. So it was so easy and effortless, and it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. So I would, advise you to do this. Of course, when the debt charity contacts these debtors, it does mean that your credit rating will be affected. But to be honest, at that stage, my credit rating was affected anyway, so it didn't make a difference. And I wanted to just get out that debt. And it took me a while, maybe 4 or 5 years to get out of it. But like I said, it's the best thing I ever did. So hats off to Step Change. It just made everything so much easier for me. And it felt amazing once I paid it off. There's an online portal as well. You log in, you can monitor it each month if you want to do that, and look at the figures going down. The last year of me paying that debt off, I logged in and I could see there was only a few £100 left on one and maybe £50 left on another debt. So then what I did was do some overtime to get some extra money. I got that money and just paid off one of the debtors straight off like that. So then that helped clear it faster as well. So overpaying, if you can do that, really helps as well. Of course, Step Change is the one I use, but there are many others. I will list some here for you to have a look at in the UK. Like I said, I can only give you advice on what I've experienced, and these are in the UK. So if you're anywhere else, there might be some debt charities in your country. If not, there are loads of online resources to help you, loads of YouTube videos. So, you're not alone. Step 3, educate yourself financially. I started working as soon as I could. So as soon as I turned 18, 17, 18, got myself a part-time job whilst at sixth form, and I started working. Before that, my relationship with money was pretty much saying, Mum, Dad, can I borrow some money to do this, that? They didn't give me pocket money, but they did, give me money when I asked for it. So there had to be a reason for it. So whether it's school trips, dinner money. What I'm saying is I didn't really have a relationship with money. So when it came to working, as soon as I could get a job, I started getting paid. I was thinking, wow, well this money's coming in, great. And then I was buying whatever I want to buy. I love snacking foods, I love trying different things. I was just having coffees and whatnot all the time. Then I started to be offered credit cards from different banks, which now when I think back is a bit strange. You're 18 years old and the bank's offering you a credit card. I don't know, they were just saying here's a credit card, the limit of £400-500. Back then it was the most I'd ever had money wise, so, or to myself I could buy whatever I want. So I just took that credit card, and then another credit bank offered me another credit card and I took that on. So this is where my debt came from. I went to university as well, so I was quite naive with money, so I was just enjoying myself. So yeah, I racked up debt of up to maybe £12,000-13,000. But throughout the time from 18 or 17 to when I got help with step change, I was working, so I was working each weekend through uni. So at one time I had 2 jobs, so I constantly felt like I was working and then paying off credit cards, working, paying off credit cards. So it was like a cycle, and I never got out of it. It's only until my mid-20s I got to a stage like, oh God, I need to really, I kind of calmed down a bit after university, and then I realised that I need to get on top of this, and that's when I did do it. There are some that I've listed that you can maybe look at, but all these websites are kind of UK based, so I'm sorry if you're not in the UK. But some of these websites might be accessible out of the UK as well. You can at least read about them. But in regards to phone support and things, these are only available in the UK. But please look after your mental health. We're more aware now, so we know, it's probably easier to identify I might be in debt because of this. Some bonus tips are that I think would have helped me when I look back would be things like mindset. This is similar to financially educating yourself, but looking at money mindset. Read up on that, look it up on YouTube, look up money mindset. If you are constantly spending, as soon as money hits your bank account, it's gone within days. There's a money mindset issue there. Yeah, of course it might be budgeting as well, but there's a mindset. So this is something that you might have been brought up with, saying, if you think that you don't ever have enough money, things like that, is something that you should learn about to improve your financial knowledge. Review your spending. Every weekend I look at how much I've spent in the week, question myself, did I need that? How's that now affected my budget for the rest of the month? So reviewing your spending like that is a really good thing to keep tabs on, especially if you're overspender, just to kind of have a bit of control on the matter, and makes you more aware. So you could think, I've spent £100 this week, I didn't mean to spend that much, and next week you would spend maybe a little bit less. Before doing this, I would just kind of gloss it over and just keep spending, but doing it this way makes you more self-aware and get on top of things. Another tip I will give is creating another account. This is something I did when I started paying my debts off. So I have another bank account, so my wages get paid into one and my bills come out of one, and then I do my spending in another one. So that means that I know the money allocated in my spending account is just for expenses, whether that's petrol or food, that's for nothing else. And of course my savings account as well, and that's just money that I have that I'm saving now. So having a separate account helped me manage my money, helped me organise it in my head, so it's not all in one place. I did sometimes feel overwhelmed with all the money in one place, thinking there's bills coming out, and I didn't like the fact, I didn't like that. I liked knowing this is the amount for bills, this is the amount for my spending. I like keeping it separate like that. Another tip is overpaying. I've mentioned this earlier. So when you're paying off your debts, if you can do any overtime, any extra money that you do pick up, overpay. So that means, I've earned an extra £100 this month from overtime. I'm going to put that straight onto one of my credit cards to help pay it off faster. If you can't do that, that's fine. But this is a tip I'm giving. It helps you pay your debt off faster. The tip is delayed gratification. So a new restaurant might have opened up in your local area. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's going. I think, I really want to go. And if you didn't pay that credit card off, there's enough money for you to go. No, don't do it. Delayed gratification is, okay, I'm going to pay that credit card. I don't have to go right now. I don't have to go because everybody else is going. I will still get to go, but I will go when it's right for me to go. So maybe wait, a couple of months, a few months down the line, maybe save it up, do some overtime, delay that gratification. It'll feel so much better when you do it, and you're still prioritizing your debts. They should come first all the time. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, you look after yourself first. So that's what delayed gratification is. It could also work with gadgets or any clothing items. You think, oh, I love that dress. You don't need it right now. You think you need it because you're on social media and saying that looks amazing. That's not gonna sort your life out. If you have to, if you get triggered by these things all the time, I would advise you come off that social media platform for the time being until you're on top of your debts. Because this is the key for you to get out of debt, delayed gratification. So I hope my experience and my advice could help at least one person out there and change their lives around. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just sharing my advice. This is only advice. It's up to you what you do. It's, it is down to you, the decisions you make. There's so many videos out there. This is just me telling you what I did to get out of debt. But remember, you may feel overwhelmed and stressed right now that you can't do it, but you can. You can get out of that dark hole. Whether it's financially, your mental health, you can do it, and you will be debt free. Once you start doing it, you'll build up a bit of a momentum and you'll start feeling good. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe and share this video with anybody else who you think may need it. Remember, you can do this. You can get yourself out of that situation. If I did it, you can do it. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.